What happens when a jet built to kill Soviet tanks suddenly finds itself hunting speedboats in one of the most dangerous waterways on Earth? You're looking at it. The A-10 Warthog, the plane everyone swore was headed to the boneyard, is back in combat right now, taking on Iranian fast attack vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. And this isn't some quirky military side note. This is a warning. The confrontation with Iran is escalating fast, right where nearly 20% of the world's oil flows through a channel barely 50 miles wide. So why bring back this Cold War legend? How is it suddenly more useful than stealth fighters? And what does this tell us about where things are headed next? Let's get into it. First, the Pentagon made it official. General Dan Kane confirmed in a briefing that A-10s are now operating on the southern flank and is actively hunting Iranian fast attack craft. Then CENTCOM released imagery of those same warthogs refueling midair, staying on station for hours. Translation: this isn't a flyby. This is sustained combat. Now, on the surface, using a tank killer against small boats sounds ridiculous. But watch what happens when you look closer. The A-10's superpower isn't speed, it's patience. This jet can loiter for hours, it circles, it watches, and the moment a target reveals itself, it strikes. Iranian speedboats are small, fast, and designed to create chaos. Against them, you don't need a jet that screams in and out. You need something that stays overhead, tracks movement, and hits hard the second the enemy thinks it's safe. Think of it as the experienced old hunter who knows waiting beats rushing. Now let's talk about what it's hunting. Iran knows it can't match the US ship for ship. So they built a different playbook. Speedboat swarms, mines, harassment. Their goal isn't to win a straight fight, it's to make the Strait of Hormuz so unpredictable that global markets panic. And here's why that matters to you. Matters. When tanker traffic gets threatened, oil prices jump, shipping costs spike. And those costs don't stay on the water. They show up in fuel prices, grocery bills, and household budgets halfway around the world. Every fast boat the A-10 takes out isn't just a tactical win. It's one less tool for maritime blackmail. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. The Warthog isn't doing this alone. Reports show that while A-10s are hunting speedboats, other assets are dropping 5,000-pound penetrator bombs on hardened Iranian bunkers near the strait. This isn't random. It's a systematic campaign. Strip away the swarm boats, crack the underground facilities, leave Iran's pressure points exposed, and let's not miss the irony. For years, the A-10 was called a relic. Too slow. Too old. Living on borrowed time. And yet, here it is, doing exactly what it was built for. Low, slow, brutal, effective. Because sometimes the most advanced solution isn't the right one. Sometimes the right one is tougher, simpler, and refuses to go away. Iran's reliance on small boat harassment tells you two things at once. Yes, they can still cause trouble, but it also shows what they lack: real conventional firepower. And when their signature threat gets dismantled by a jet people thought belonged in a museum, that stings. For a regime that sells strength through intimidation, visible losses cut deep. Now, let's be real. This isn't risk-free. The A-10 is slower. It's not stealthy. And it's operating in a zone packed with Iranian air defenses, drones, and missiles. Mission planning has to be surgical. Air cover has to be tight. Tough doesn't mean invincible. So is it working? We won't know from one viral clip. The real test is whether the harassment drops, whether tanker traffic starts moving safer, whether Iran's ability to threaten the strait starts crumbling. Expect more A-10 patrols, more strikes on missile sites, more layered operations that remind Iran that every move they make has already been planned for. Here's the bottom line. Iran spent years trying to turn a narrow stretch of water into a weapon, but now that same stretch is exposing how brittle those tactics really are. For all the threats, the image that's sticking isn't Iran controlling the strait. It's the warthogs circling above, patient, waiting, taking apart the tools of intimidation one boat at a time. If you want more breakdowns of how old-school firepower is solving modern threats, hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.